Every week, I talk with people who are already retired and they tell me about the decisions they're proud of and the ones they wish that they could go back and change. And over the years, I've noticed a pattern. There's one retirement decision that people regret more than any other. Now, it's the same regret from people who retired early, people who retired late, people who saved a lot, people who wish they'd saved more, and that regret is this: not making key retirement decisions with a long-term strategy in mind. I'm Darren Shambly, a certified financial planner. Now, let me explain what I mean, because this one regret shows up in different forms. Some folks regret taking Social Security too early, not because early filing is wrong, but because they made the wrong decision without looking at their full income picture, their longevity, or how it would affect a surviving spouse. They made the decision because it felt simple and safe in the moment, but later they realized the long-term impact. Now, others regret not thinking ahead about taxes. They say things like, "Darren, I wish somebody would have told me about this tax window in my early 60s, or if I had understood how my withdrawals would affect my future tax brackets, I would have done things differently." But they didn't. They made decisions year by year instead of planning decade by decade. And that's when long-term regret shows up. Another group regrets not adjusting their risk level as they approached retirement. Some stayed too aggressive because these markets were doing well and they didn't want to miss out. Others got too conservative too quickly because they were afraid of losing money. But both groups later on realized that their decisions weren't aligned with what they actually needed their investments to do. And they felt regret, not because of the performance itself, but because they didn't make the decision intentionally with the strategy behind it. Then there are the folks who wish they could have done Roth conversions earlier. Again, this isn't whether conversions are right or wrong for everyone. It's about missing out on an opportunity they later learned could have helped reduce their lifetime tax burden. They look back and think, if I'd only known I'd had this window. And that's the heart of the regret, not knowing. And perhaps the most heartbreaking regret comes from people who didn't plan for what happens if one spouse passes away first. They didn't consider how income changes, how expenses shift, or how Social Security benefits play out. They didn't plan for pension choices or survivor benefits, and when life took a difficult turn, they realized those early decisions had a long-lasting impact. Now, that regret isn't about money, it's about wishing they had protected their spouse better. But what ties all these regrets together is simple. The decision wasn't made with the long-term plan in mind. It was made quickly, emotionally, or because it felt easiest at the time. And I get it. Retirement decisions are complicated. They can feel overwhelming. Sometimes you just want to check something off the list and move on. But retirement isn't a sprint. It's a long journey, and the decisions you make at the beginning can echo through the rest of your life. That's why I always tell people retirement planning isn't about getting it perfect. It's about being thoughtful, intentional, and strategic. You can't control the markets. You can't control tax law changes. You can't control life events, but you can control how you prepare. And preparation is what prevents regret. Now, here's the encouraging part. No matter where you are in the process, 5 years out from retirement, 1 year out, or already retired, it's not too late to start making long-term decisions. You might not be able to change something you did 10 years ago, but you can absolutely make better decisions for the next 10 years. And the sooner you start thinking this way, the more confidence you gain. What I want for you is simple, that the years from now you look back and say, I'm glad I made decisions the right way. I'm glad I thought ahead. I'm glad I didn't rush through the important stuff. That's the opposite of regret. That's peace. And peace of mind is one of the most valuable parts of retirement. If you want help planning confident, long-term decisions, not rushed, short-term ones, use the link below to schedule a conversation. We'll talk you through your Social Security strategy, your income planning, your tax picture, your investments, and how they'll all connect. And if you like this video, I think you'll really enjoy this one. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss future content. Together, we can put your retirement on cruise control.